Hey there, everybody. Sean and Sasha over at Edible Acres sent us our plant order this week. So first and foremost, I wanted to start off, thank you guys for all of your hard work and inspiration. It's been a pleasure watching you all these years. We're making our way into the woods because some of the things that we ordered are specifically understory plants or do well with easy access to a high water table. So I figured we would show you how we are managing some of the cleared spaces and how we're adding to them in an iterative fashion. So hope you guys find it helpful. Back in a sec. So we are down in the woods now, about 50 or 60 feet from where the property line is at the farmer's wall. And what we are looking at here is what I initially thought was a drainage ditch to the pond, but is actually a drainage ditch from the pond. So when the pond experiences a heavy water flow event, this fills in. We are reconfiguring some of the plans for the pond's overflow and how high we would like it to get. So as we progress, this will stay drier for longer, but I'm okay with that because it really doesn't move, and because of the lack of any depth or overwintering ability, we really don't tend to get a lot of frogs or turtles in this section. So I'm hoping to change that up. More on that later. For now, some of this area has been blocked off a bit from the excess water flow, and a slight berming has been done. In this area, the water doesn't rise quite as high, but it is still fairly mucky and murky. And you can see, if I pan up a little bit, there's a little bit of ways away. There's actually some semi-decent sun access, but we will get a lot of dappled shade in this area, particularly because the summer sun is more around here. And while that may be a challenge for some of the more popular plants to grow for fruit, like apples, peaches, plums, which in our climate need the full sunlight, we can use some of these less productive areas for things like ginger or pawpaw or elderberries. Now, I will note that I don't expect the elders that get planted back here to perform as well as some of the ones that will be planted up in the field to food forest area, but we're going to have a grand old time trying, and I'm pretty sure that the pawpaws will really enjoy this dappled shade that are provided by some of the young trees that we'll take out to favor them as they grow, while also considering their position relative to trees we plan to drop in the coming years. But with proper planning, proper setups, and proper tools, we can protect our real investments while gaining yields from the things we've allowed to continue growing. So I'm going to take a few more steps, get into position, and we'll talk about what we're doing. So we're still in that same little blocked off log area. I'm choosing this spot as one of the places to do some of our elders, and you can see our cuttings here. The intent is to bury them up to this first node so that the second growth node will take off, and all of the little bumps here are going to be, let's see if I can get that to focus for you. All of these little bumps will be spots where the roots will form. So there you have it. With these, the pressure of the soil against the bottom of it will help to promote root growth. That's the case with many cane plants. And I'm just going to stick it and then push it in real good. It is damp. My knees are now a little bit wet and soggy, and that's okay. We're going to plant a few of these guys. This one still has a little bit going on at that growth node, so we're going to plant him a little bit gentler. Easy peasy, elder squeezy. We're going to continue on for a few more, pick up, move to another spot down here, and then we'll move up top. Catch you in a sec. Welcome back, everybody. We are on the northeastern side of the downhill pond, which you can see pictured there. We have planted a few elderberry cuttings around sections of the perimeter where we are mostly done dropping trees, but any others can be dropped without stepping on the cuttings and without dropping the trees on them. And we are now nestled next to some of our birch trees and beech trees, still in the lowlands in the flattened out section that is kind of the catchment seepage area leading into the pond. And we are here with some Asimina triloba, the pawpaw. And of particular interest is this spot right here where you can see in between the middle of my middle finger where the wood changes from root crown to stem. And that's the section we're looking to plant, is down to these, and hopefully make a hole that will compress around these roots but not damage them and not have to cramp them in like that. We don't want that. We want nice, easy peasy, straight down, well compressed roots. I actually measured this trowel against all of the roots of the pawpaws and found that it was the perfect length for them, and I didn't feel like carrying a shovel around, so this is what I've done. I've got a nice little handle. I can work it back and forth for a second, and then I've got a nice hole that I can widen just a little bit. It feels good. And I'm just gonna shimmy it down until I feel that tiny bit of resistance, and we're double checking where everything is in relation to it all, and we'll give it a first pat, and then just a light step around the hole that I cut. Just itty bitty steps. It doesn't have to be a lot of pressure. We're just looking to kind of collapse the dirt back in around it without making it so that we're putting so much pressure as to crush the thing we just planted. So I have a few more of those to go in, but that's pretty much this update here. The light is fading, so I'm probably going to stop recording here to just truck it out, finish doing what I'm planting. But this is the next phase in a cleared area. I would consider this a clearing of sorts, but this pawpaw will have plenty of dappled and full shade to get it acclimated and ready to go. We have a few spray painted tomato cages that I will be putting back here just to mark them out so that I don't lose them over winter and into the spring. And then we can begin studying them and learning what they're going to do in this space as we spread out. As always, thanks for watching. Happy planting.